All right, welcome back to my channel. It's been quite a while since I've done a video. The last content I did was on a Fiat 500e, and that car was something I bought, and I tried to bring it back from the dead, but I think the battery pack, it needed more work than I was willing to put into it at the time, so I sold that project off. I'm back at the garage here. This is the electric swap project, and so I'm actually going to be having some help. My friend Jimmy, who has done EV swaps before, is going to help me kind of take this car to the finish line. And he's headed over now, but you know, I haven't worked on this car for like 3 or 4 months. It's kind of been a colder winter here in Colorado, and I've also been busy with other stuff. So yeah, we're kind of getting started back up with this project again, and you know, I'm pretty excited to kind of take this thing to the finish line. I'm not sure how quick we'll make progress. Today, Jimmy is bringing up a Nissan Leaf battery, so that's what I've decided to put in this car. It's a 24 kilowatt hour pack. It's the same one that's in the same one that's in the 2013 Nissan Leaf. And you know, it's only good for about 80 miles, but you know, we just want to get this thing moving, and so you know, he has that pack. I'm excited to work with Jimmy. I think him and I have a really similar mindset when it comes to building cars, and so I'm excited to work with him and just see what we can do, and mainly see really what this platform is capable of. The 996 chassis with the Tesla small drive unit and Nissan Leaf batteries. You know, our challenge is going to be to make all these things work together. And, you know, my thought is that the end result is going to be something pretty good. This car is a C4 chassis, which is the same as the 996 GT3 chassis. And so our kind of, my goal has been to build like a electric GT3, 996 GT3. And that's kind of what this will be. You know, it's only going to be rear wheel driven. And if you've watched some of the older videos, the motor in this car is mounted in front of the rear axle line, so it is mid-engine car, I guess you could say. So that's kind of the update. I did have another C2 911 and 996, and I sold that car just because, like I said, I've been busy with life stuff. I ended up moving, and so my focus has been elsewhere for a little bit, but I'm hoping to, you know, split my time between this and some house projects, primarily house projects, but I do want to get this going, and that's why I'm having Jimmy help me, and we're both super excited about the potential in this car, and it has all the parts to be a pretty capable track car. So we're both excited, and now it just is time to do work. So what we're starting with today is figuring out where the batteries would fit. And we're gonna mock up a battery box we got a bunch of foam here. So I'm just gonna kind of build, we're gonna, you know, like I said, Jimmy's bringing the batteries up. We're gonna do some measurements and then make a box out of foam and see how it would fit in the car.
I just put the ones without studs on the bottoms and then put the top on top, and then really bolted them in so that the top would kind of secure it.
Okay. All right, so Jimmy came, we brought the batteries. So there's the batteries. We're starting to make our foam battery box, mock up. Got the car in the air. I'm gonna look under the car for the first time. It's been a long time. So get familiar again under there. All right, I'm making good progress today. We got the Tesla motor out and apart, and now I'm measuring. I need to get some piping here so I can do an oil pickup on the bottom. Again, this orientation right now is upside down, but I'm gonna need an oil pickup somewhere down here. All right, I just added a 1/2-inch line hose here. I just had a scrap that happens to be the right length, it looks like. I'm going to try and put the gear back in and just see how it fits. All right, so another thing I want to show here is my messy trunk in the Leaf is I got some, this is aluminum tubing. It's like a beam. There's this type of cross section and this one here. And I'm thinking about using this one to make the battery box. And the thing I don't know really is how I would make a box out of this stuff, because you know I don't really want to weld aluminum. So I'm going to start brainstorming that soon. I also need to buy a motor controller so that I can control the Tesla drive unit. So I'm looking to go with one from Open Inverter. The price is a lot nicer than one I was looking at from EV Controls. The other part I need is a vehicle control unit, and this will help me charge the Nissan Leaf batteries, and it'll communicate with the other systems in the car. I'm hoping that all these parts will work together. I did write on the Open Inverter forum, and someone did confirm that they should all work. So that's a good sign. These parts are community developed. They're not from like a commercial retailer, so they're not going to be as plug and play or like turnkey as some of the other systems, but I'm willing to try them because they're cheaper. It's now mid-January 2023. I have not posted anything in a little while because I bought a house and I moved, and so that was consuming me for a little bit. Today, somebody's interested in buying the the silver 911, and so I'm going to drive that down to South Denver. He works at a nice car dealership down there, and we might get to drive some fun cars too. Well, I just arrived at the party, the McLaren party. Hey, good, how are you? Okay, well, I just sold the 2000 Porsche 911. Yeah, I'll just say a few words on this car. I am gonna miss this car. It, like I said earlier, it has a really strong motor, really tight motor. The suspension's brand new on it. It has a lot of new parts that I put on with my students. And so this car is pretty special. I didn't really need to sell this car, but you know, it just simplifies things right now. It'll be one less thing, you know, to kind of worry about and insure. But it is an amazing car. It drives so nice, and you know, it's I like the look. It's got the aftermarket wheel that has it, you know, the offset that sits out a little bit more. Has the aftermarket exhaust, and you know, I think it just looks good with the silver and the black and the dark tint. It looks nice. So I'll miss this one. This is a really solid car. I just love the 996 size, and you know, the power level's just right. Yeah, this was fun. It was fun to work on. It was fun to drive, and so this car will be missed. Hi, welcome back to my friend's garage. Today we are going to be putting the Fiat back together. I've decided to sell it because I got other stuff going on in my life. I actually do think that this car, that the battery could be brought back to life, because I measured the voltage. Here, come in here, I'll show you. I measured the voltage yesterday after this thing had been sitting for 2 weeks, and it was still at 13 volts. It's at 12.5. Maybe it was at 12.5 yesterday. Either way, it's like kind of leveled off, which is good. But because I'm busy, busier than I usually am, I decided to sell this. I found a buyer this weekend, and so he wants to obviously transport it all as one package. So my goal today is to get this back in the car, and no.
Okay.
It's only if you were to touch the wrong part.
Well,
You're not going to touch the wrong part. Okay. Last thing is getting the rear axle in. We got the battery pack in. That took 30 minutes. Ooh, I'm dizzy. So this is the last piece to go in. There's 3 bolts on each side. And we got to make sure that there's these washer things. You see these? Mm-hmm. That go. There's